All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually have one half of the legendary Compton, California hip-hop duo. We have BlaKKazz K.K. of Second to None right here live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great, man. Thank y'all for having a brother on the show, man.
Hey, man, I gotta say, you are most certainly welcome, man. I actually grew up listening to Second to None, man, so just being able to actually grow up and be able to interview such a legendary individual like yourself, man, is such an absolute honor, man. So thank you so much in advance for a little bit of your time here this evening.
Oh, man, I appreciate the love, man, and, thank you for the legend shout-outs. I mean, I'm still kind of taking that in. It's overwhelming love, so feels kind of good to keep hearing that get slung around lately.
I gotta say, man, definitely, you're most certainly welcome, man. Before we get into this, I have to ask, man, because I watch a lot of the news out on KTLA, man, and I'm seeing a lot of like the massive heat wave you guys got out there in California and those forest fires, man. I just have to ask, like, how are you and yours doing out there with those forest fires, man? I hope you guys are far away as possible from those.
Well, like the inner cities or what we'll call it, that's kind of like far away from us. It's not that close to like the inner city parts like L.A. the city, Compton, Inglewood, Watts, Long Beach. It's nowhere near us in that sense, or anything by LAX in that form. So that's what we call out in the valleys or a different county than L.A. County. So it's not that close as some of those fires. Usually out towards the mountain areas, an hour away from LA or something of that nature.
But also, KK, I want to take you back to the beginning of your amazing career this far, where yourself and your cousin Gangsta D actually started Second to None in the mid to late 1980s. For the listeners that might not know the story behind this iconic hip-hop duo, what made yourself and your cousin actually decide to come together as one and form what we now know as today Second to None?
Well, I mean, being first cousins, his mother and my mother are sisters, making us first cousins. Growing up in the love of music, first of all, our family was a musical family from 2 or 3 generations. My grandmother, her mother, our great-grandmother, and them, my aunties, my mom, Dee's mom, just a musical family. So it's always been a love of music first. Rap came along, We have a love and a respect for hip-hop, being from Compton, California, and West Coast, and during the time we came out, late 80s, early 90s. I just keep reminding, and there's no love, not in a negative way, but we're not hip-hop. We just have love and respect for hip-hop, but I understand the culture and the love and what hip-hop platform has done for everybody as far as that rap. But, it's a blessing, man, that, we came this far from being what the world today calls, what do they call it, mixtapes, mix CDs or mixtapes, and actually CDs or digital download today. We come from the era where it actually was cassettes, and we had to record them or, get them reduplicated and whatnot. So, it's 3 different generations of music entertainment and the love of music and how it changed from the era that we came from, people loved and knew about the music and the actual artists, or, when we had vinyl and album covers to read information on the back of them, as well as cassettes and CDs when they came out around 90 or 91. And it still had information on there for you to read, like picking up a book instead of just finger pressing on a phone. You have to use your brain and your eyeballs to read something and appreciate the art and good music instead of the digital platform. Back then it was analog, more thicker, more soul in the music. You know what I mean? I appreciate the love for the digital platform, but I'm an analog cat. Thicker sound, more soul in the music.
And I gotta say as well, I definitely agree with you as well, man. I'm an analog kind of guy myself. Like, I'll use streaming platforms if I absolutely have to, but I would much rather go out and buy a CD. Like you said, you can read the book, you can actually, like, you feel a lot more closer to the music. And plus, nothing is better than just, back in the day, standing outside of a record store, waiting for your favorite album to drop right at midnight so you can run in there and be the first person in the city to have that particular album.
Oh yeah, man, nothing like that feeling. That's growing up early for a lot of don't know. We grew up with Quick, second to none. Me and my cousin D. Went to junior high and high school together in the early mid '80s. That was a thing to go to the record store, trip off of the different artwork on the album covers, sit there for an hour or two, just gloating off the artwork and reading the names and, ooh, a producer, he produced this and they wrote that, and you know what I mean? So it's that love of music, man. Yeah, like you said, I agree with you on that too as well.
And also as well, after you guys actually released the phenomenal The Red Tape in the year 1990, you guys actually inked a deal with Profile Records. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners the story behind your guys' first record deal. And of course, how did they actually originally discover you guys?
Okay, well, back in those days when it was actual being discovered, so to speak, like I said earlier, we came from the underground tape era where the underground artists, wasn't getting radio play, but very popular in the neighborhoods or the surrounding communities where people actually loved your music or, wanted and bought your music from you. That's what kind of propelled our getting popular around 83, 86, around the neighborhood, city, Compton, throughout through the school. High school, the underground takes place since late 80s, through Quick, and then a couple small ones leading up to the second and none Quick, the last underground tape, which was called the Red Tape. That's what making a buzz, what they call it. So we had made a buzz in the mid-'80s to like about '89, and after graduation in high school in '89, from the underground tape, and believing in our talent, and pushing it forward. Making sure our tapes got out there, we being heard, and people making sure they knew who we were and our music. Promoting ourselves, our names, and our music. So during that time, this is NWA and EZ came, late 80s, 88, 89. We were as popular, too, in the city, but not as popular as during that time in NWA. They had a record deal. We didn't have record deals yet. But we were just as popular on the streets through the underground tape. So once EZ and NWA went gold and platinum, because during that time, hip-hop wasn't a big fan of West Coast so-called gangster rap. Well, we never coined it gangster rap. West Coast where street reporters are. We just, we're us and our culture with Khaki Levi's, Cortez, Nikes, Air Force One, not Air Force One, Air Max, K-Swiss, Chuck Taylors, Converse. We had our own culture and pretty much reporting life on the streets without snitching through rap over music. Not boom bap original rap, which but still all due respect to hip hop, but we had our own flavor. Pop locking, not breakdancing until we got exposed to breakdancing. Just like the world and hip hop and New York culture got exposed to Bloods and Crips and Pyrus. Same thing, but the West didn't get and we still don't get our credit for bringing a different aspect and culture to this entertainment world, which some just coined it hip hop. It's different elements of rap, singing, and entertaining. Everything is not hip hop. But hip hop is loved and appreciated for what it's done for the platform of music and Black and Latino Hispanic entertainment, being a platform. But, that's what kind of led our notoriety from the streets, where after EZ and them, when nobody believed in West Coast so-called gangster rap until they went EZ and then went gold and platinum. Now everybody wants to sign a West Coast artist all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So, wow, how did they do that? we didn't believe we thought they was lying, a.k.a. Tim Dog and all of the underground East Coast hip-hop or Northeast rappers that were certain prominent names in the Northeast, but not in Cali like that. Everybody had a voice and how they felt about Compton specifically, or West Coast rap during the late 80s, early 90s time. So with our notoriety from the streets and all that, after Easy and NWA went gold and platinum, all of a sudden all the record companies wanted to get a West Coast group of artists, leading up to now they're searching for people. With our notoriety from selling the underground tape, which was the last one that really made noise, was the red tape. DJ Quick, Second to None, AMG, the homie IC, and the homie Teddy Bear. No group name, we were all individual entities, but that tape made a presence on the West Coast and spread to the Midwest and certain parts of the South. Via people traveling on the road from Compton and L.A. County. Record companies heard about that. We need an easy, two quick sounds, the next thing like that. So, Second to None, who's that crew? Well, they could be like an NWA. So Big War started out, maybe early 1990 for DJ Quick, Second to None, and AMG in a sense. Pretty much leading our way to record deals. Via the underground tapes and making a name for ourselves, being respected in our areas where we came from, for the love of music.
And also, as well, in the year 1991, you were actually featured on 2 songs on fellow West Coast artist High C's album Skangless. I was wondering, how did yourself and High C originally get connected? And of course, what was it like just working alongside him? And of course, Tony A. the Wizard in the studio?
Okay, well, High C, as well as like Quick and D, but me, Quick, and High C actually started junior high school together in '83, and that's where I met Quick and High C at the same time, in a sense, in junior high. Well, at that time, we were all DJs and having a love of music and whatnot. Kind of grouped up like that. Wasn't too many people actually having DJ equipment at that time, or actually just having a love of music to want to DJ. So that's what kind of me and High C started battling on the phone, I guess, scratching against each other. So, it led up to a good friendship. Same with Quick, we were all DJs. So something in common, basketball, and at that time being new to girls in a sense, being in junior high school, So from there, High C was actually the first famous rapper out the crew in junior high school. Nobody else was really rapping kind of like that. We were all DJs. So me and High C hung out a lot, classes together here and there, PE, talking about turntables, buying records. Me and Quick were buying records, sharing ideas. Oh, listen to this new scratch. So, for that, and doing the underground tapes, passing the underground tapes on, and High C went a different way after late high school, before graduation. Via that he was working at the Rhodium Swap Meet. We were still in Compton doing our thing, Second to None and Quick, until we led up to Greedy Greg and them and that management and whatnot, and leading up to a record deal. Well, High C was doing his ventures on his side with Tony A. and Steve Yano at the Rhodium, and they already had their thing going as far as working there and planning there, whatever they were planning. Well, like I say, in 91, all our records came out. Late 1990 to early 91s, we all got record deals around the same time based off our popularity from the streets. So me and High C's connection from there, everybody just, wow, we all got record deals. Sharing the happiness and the enjoyment for that. Man, let me hear your record. Everybody did their own thing, you know what I mean? From writing their own lyrics to coming up with ideas for the tracks, or playing like the keys on different things, D and Quick, or I might come up with a hook, D, me and D might come up with hooks. Everybody's working together to make sure everybody else's project was tight before we all came out in '91 after getting record deals. So, you know, being the 2 songs on High Seas album, Scandalous, what was that, 2 at a time, and Scandalous, I believe, the song. Take 2 at a time.
Absolute classic song, in my honest opinion. Such a phenomenal joint. Still holds up today, almost 30 years later. If, actually, no, more than 30 years, actually, damn.
Oh, yeah, 32. Going on 33 years almost.
And also, as well, in the mid-1990s, you guys also got associated with Death Row Records. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a story behind that. And, of course, how did you guys originally get connected with Suge Knight?
Okay, first, you know, for fans or people who don't know, let's get this clear. Second to None was never, ever on Death Row, never signed to Death Row Records. The relationship was established because Second to None was we already had a record deal before Death Row even came out. We were out maybe a year, 2 years before Death Row even hit the scene. So being from the same city as I should, you know, knowing Easy, been familiar with Dre, you know, during the NWA era, when Death Row and Suge and them came along, it was just pretty much like out of, you know, a homeboy that came up and he had a better situation going on, just trying to look out for the homies. So that was Suge, in his sense, like, hey, man, this is what I'm doing over here. You know, you don't have to come sign over here, but I just want to look out for you guys because I'm in a better position than what you guys are doing, and I know a little more than you guys do at that time. A lot of recognition where he doesn't get because he did help a lot of artists. As you can see, we're all still here and alive, thank God for that. But he did a lot of good things as well, man. Brought a lot of good jobs to the community. You know, just everything's not perfect. Some things get tainted, but we made it through. As far as Death Row, yeah, like we never signed, and we were blessed to get an opportunity with Jimmy Iovine from Interscope Records and Ted Fields doing, I would say, late 91 or maybe early 92. When Death Row was first taking off, you know, Second to None Quick was there. But we never signed, just was friends and homies looking out for each other, getting jobs, writing for people. You know, Suge did a lot. We wrote for Deion Sanders, a lot of people that we wrote songs for, R&B and rap, or did hooks for, or Suge established jobs for us, being writers, songwriters, not just rappers. Or an idea here or there, or, you know, I like to, I'm very visual and have ideas. I was writing video treatments just myself for different artists, you know. So that was the connection with Death Row, and we never signed or never was on Death Row. Well, if many people remember the picture when Pop first came and they had their whole Death Row thing was going, the black picture of pyramid of all the Death Row artists. Now, for those who remember that picture and that 2-page fold-out presentation for the new Death Row at that time, look at the bottom, and this pretty much clears up about Second to None being signed at Death Row. It's at the very bottom of that picture where, for those who still have that magazine or that picture, it says at the bottom, I think it's either Mary J. or Faith Evans, I forgot exactly who, and Second to None, consultation. Not Death Row inmates or Death Row artists. We just had consultation with Suge Knight, not Death Row Records. Basically, homies looking out for homies. So that's pretty much the whole Death Row situation, and pretty much everybody that was around grew up on the east side of Compton or people we knew or went to school with. You know, just homies looking out for homies, leading up to the Above the Rim soundtrack. Didn't Mean to Turn You On, number 5 on there. Second to None produced. Second to None written. Quick mixed. And Death Row Records, Interscope pushed. You know, check that out. I mean, so as far as pretty much is that Death Row history is Second to None and how the events happened and how we met. pretty much, you know, in between late 91 to about 93, right after the homie Big Jake has got passed, brother, you know. Pretty much that caps that in, you know.
And also as well, in '94 as well, I actually read that you guys actually recorded an album, sorry, titled "The Shit" that was unfortunately shelved by Death Row. I was wondering, for the listeners that might not know about this record, can you tell us a bit more about this 1994 project? And of course, why was it originally unfortunately shelved?
Okay, originally the Shit THASHIT album from Second to None would have originally been Second to None's second album. It would have came out in 1993, produced by Second to None and DJ Quick. You know, that way it would even more establish us as producers instead of just artists as well. But great album. The streets heard it. Everybody loved it. Everybody that heard it. It's a lot of tracks on that album, and you brought up the album being shelved. During the time that the album was shelved, like I said, we never signed to Death Row. We wasn't on Death Row. That may have been an issue by not signing to Death Row, but I don't think that was entirely the reason why the album was shelved. During that time, there was a lot of turmoil going on within Death Row Records and Interscope. So, you know, by us not being artists, that wasn't Death Row's priority at the time. And plus, things were kind of getting, you know, Suge had more going on with what he had to deal with his company and his business and his artists, outside of consulting with KK&D about Second to None's, you know, business and whatnot, and trying to help us. But he helped us by getting, you know, with Jimmy Iovine and getting us on the Above the Rim soundtrack, and got paid and whatnot for the upfront services. You know what I mean? So, that album somehow got leaked in 2008. I pretty much can. I don't know how. I know how, but I don't know who. But I have a good clue. That'd be a good rhyme for you and everybody listening too. But you know, I have a good idea how it got leaked. Our video got pushed back, or got Didn't He Turn You On video. Where's the video for that? The album never was leaked until 2008. But the video, it got pushed back because I think a Warren G song that started picking up. And, you know, more affiliated with Snoop being a member of Death Row, and that family thing held back our video, took it down. You know, because like I say, I don't want to say we wasn't members of Death Row at the time, but, you know, the more affiliation, Warren G and Snoop and all of that, Mount Up, what was it, I forgot the name of that song, but a Warren G song off of I think it was the Brother Man soundtrack as well. Mount Up, it was a Clear Kite Baby. Peace to Warren G, though. Much love, bro. Yeah, that kind of shell didn't mean to turn you on in that sense. I guess that hopefully that answers the question with Brother Rim, Death Row. If I answered both of those questions correctly.
I gotta say, you definitely did. One thing I have to ask is a follow-up before we move off before we move off of the shit. The one thing I gotta ask, man, because obviously, like you said, it got leaked in 2008. Did you guys get the proper compensation actually for that leak? Like, because I do know it's currently on Apple Music and whatnot. Do you guys own the rights to that music, or unfortunately did it just get leaked and you guys never got paid for all that hard work? Because I gotta say, that album is absolutely phenomenal. Like, Quick did such an amazing job on that project.
Yeah, thank you. Nah, and you know, I give credit to Snoop and the Death Row, the new Death Row camp and everybody. They actually, you know, reached out and trying to clear that up, you know. So shouts out to Snoop and Death Row camp, K-Dub, and everybody that's a part of there in that camp. That's actually, you know, at least reached out to us to resolve the issue. So it's a beautiful thing, and ain't nothing but love.
And also, as well, in 1999, your guys' song "Up in the Club" was actually featured on the hit HBO show The Sopranos. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about that opportunity, and of course, what was it like just having your original song on one of the biggest shows of the time? Because that show is still popular, like 20 years later.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, wow, that's how they do licensed songs today. People reach out like Peloton, reach out like, that's all, and it goes great, but, our joggers and runners and whatnot. It's a good tempo. Well, back then in the late 90s, during that time, I think late 98, early 99, after the deal with Arista, releasing it, for a single. Wow, man, that's it. It just, my bad, man. It kind of threw me back. I just had about 10 quick flashbacks real quick. Like, I threw me off a little bit.
It's all good, man. My interviews have that effect, man. I always do my research, so a lot of people are like, wow, man, like, really? Wait?
Oh, yeah, man. But, beautiful experience is what kind of threw me off for a second. I apologize. That was a beautiful experience with Clive Davis and Acid Records. At that time, BMG, Acid BMG. Man, wow. Just, I guess, sum that up with the Soprano thing, but just being affiliates of Acid when Clive Davis signed me and D as a group, second to none, to Acid Records, part of the, marketing and the promotion team and A&R back then at Acid Records, submitting songs for projects, TVs, movies, or whatnot. We got a call one day, or I forgot, we were at the office, and, hey, you guys' songs are just been added to the Sopranos. So, that's how we got the news. I forgot whether it was a call or whether it was the office. So, shocking. Like, man, the Sopranos? Which song are they going to use of ours? So, to see that it was an episode, I guess, when the son was trying to get into the music entertainment business, they actually showed a part of our video as well and played the audio from the song. So, it's two different things, elements of Second to None in there. So, and, that was an honor, man, just for those for them to even consider our music or even putting the video as well as the audio in that award-winning series. So to be connected with the Sopranos on that level, or that episode where the son wants to get involved with music entertainment, hey, that's definitely an honor, man, on the block, shout out to Clyde Davis and the whole Arista 1998-99 for hooking something up. Beautiful thing.
And also, as well, jumping ahead in the timeline of there a little bit, on June 15th of 2022, you actually released your phenomenal 10-track solo album titled Dedication. For the listeners that might not have known this, can you tell us a bit more about your most recently released project? And of course, where can we actually buy or stream ourselves a copy of it today?
Okay, well, the album is not called Dedication. It's actually called Dedicated, with two K's in the middle, Dedikkated. June 15th, 2022, first release on all digital platforms. Pretty much, I do have hard copies and CDs. It just came about maybe a month ago or 3 weeks ago. And you can reach that information at second to none CPT.com. And that's the number 2, N is in Nancy, B is in David, IINONE, CPT.com, as well as BlaKKazz.KK.com. Or if you're on Instagram, look up BlaKKazz K.K. on Instagram. Within the link, it's a link on my bio. You can click on that, and that'll lead you to the information as far as if you want to purchase an actual physical CD of my album. And the website pretty much in that, as far as Instagram, you can reach many other the platforms on the digital platforms through those two main links and stuff on Instagram and the websites.
And I gotta say as well, it definitely is a phenomenal album. I've really been enjoying it. And the one song that I really enjoy is Headphones, that I actually have locked and loaded and added into the radio station airwaves to play immediately following this broadcast.
Man, I appreciate the love. Headphones, one of my favorites. Yeah, it has a lot of meaning with me writing that song. I appreciate the love on that.
But I have to ask, of course, other than promoting this brand new album of yours, what is next for yourself, BlaKKazz? And of course, this for the duo, Second to None. Is there anything we happen to miss during tonight's broadcast? Anything else you do still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM this evening.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, definitely, just what I like to call just correcting the history of DJ Quick, Second to None, AMG, pretty much a debate before Mossberg and Sugar Free came, but just correcting all of the things that I see over the years, a lot of misinformation, us being on death row, I'm being leaked, or us fighting each other, going through battles that some things that never even happened. But, just where we never had the platform to actually get credit. And I'm speaking of Second to None, the group, as well as DJ Quick and AMG. And when we came into this rap/hip-hop game and entertainment via music, we made an impact that I believe, and a lot of other people believe around the world, not just in the United States, that, today the word overlooked or not getting their credit, or they just do, will be some of the words or terms that kind of fit Second to None, DJ Quick, and AMG. We kind of been, you hear it from a lot of old artists, but we're still relevant after 32 years. We still do shows practically every month for the last 30-something years. DJ Quick doesn't get, this is just me speaking, in my opinion. I know definitely most of the world feels the same way. We don't get enough credit for things that, in the nature that hip-hop was in the late 80s and 1990 and 91 when we came out. The way things are, that hip-hop and some artists get appreciated and honored, they just had good teams. No hate against anybody, but that's why I'm just going back and look at my peers. Quick, Second to None, AMG. And people love Sugar Free, rest in peace, Mossberg. But, I have to say that. We don't get a Second to None, and Quick don't get enough credit for a lot of the same as I speak for Too Short and 40, but don't get enough credit being West Coast artists that put a lot of elements into this rap/hip-hop game, including slang, Ice Cube too, words that people use, cliches, slang, hip-hop, or whether it's rap or West Coast or East Coast or South, terminology, just different culture aspects in different regions, whether it be Southwest, the Southeast, Northwest, or Northeast, Midwest as well. But if you travel the roads and go to shows 32 years later, you'll see the effect around the world that DJ Quick, Second to None, and AMG's music has had on people. And just to bring up one, Rihanna. People think that she invented the bitch better have my money. A lot of people don't know that came from she probably heard AMG song. Had to. And look where that went. If You Want It. There's so many songs based off of If You Want It. We're not even going to go there tonight. We'll say that for another one. All the Quick's tracks, all of the so-called producers that came after Dr. Dre, after DJ Quick, after Battle Cat, after DJ Cool, right? After Rick Rock in the Bay, all of the prominent producers from the West Coast don't get enough credit outside of Dr. Dre. That made the way for people, or the sounds that they actually created came from us. And I'm not saying just Second to None. Some of these West Coast artists that don't get enough credit in this rap/hip-hop game. That's just my opinion and how I feel. But definitely for Second to None and Quick. Everybody singing hooks today. There was a point in time where hip-hop didn't even like hook in hip-hop until Second to None came. Oh, why y'all singing raps and songs and stuff over hip-hop? Well, we're not hip-hop. We're from Compton, California. Hip-hop is based in New York. 3 of the 5 boroughs, if I'm correct. And you guys have the code and elements, and these are the elements of hip-hop. 3 boroughs, if I'm correct, right? There's 5 boroughs in New York, and 3 of those boroughs are hip-hop. Not Philadelphia, not New Jersey, not at Georgia, not Illinois, not Michigan, not California. No disrespect, it's all love, but everybody else needs that credit too. You know, the South, Midwest, West Coast, everybody, just like hip-hop.
And I gotta say, KK, I'm glad that we could actually speak about this this evening on the Canadian FM dial and have it broadcasting all over the world so individuals can hear the real story, the real history, if they don't already know. I'm glad we could actually clear some of these things up tonight live on the airwaves.
Oh, man, appreciate the platform and the time, and also remind y'all, BlaKKazz K.K.'s first solo album, Dedicated, is out on all platforms. The best way to go on Instagram, BlaKKazz K.K. is my IG. Click in on my bio, it's a link there. It'll link you to the hard copy sales for my CDs. Or you can find out every platform on there that you can listen to or get the album. But definitely get it.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, KK, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening and sliding into the Canadian radio station dial, man. It was such an honor and a privilege to welcome one half of Compton, California's finest, second to none, here this evening, man. And thank you so much for years of monumental music that not only myself, but millions of individuals all over the world had the opportunity to enjoy for so many years. And I can't wait for more second to none and, of course, BlaKKazz K.K. in the future.
Man, thank you. Appreciate the love. And, hey, world, love y'all as well. And the love that y'all give, second to none as well as quick. Sugar-free AMG, rest in peace, Mossberg, High C. All, you know, the whole crew, Compton, Inglewood, Long Beach, L.A. County, the whole world. You know, look forward to second to none singles coming too, as well as D. He has solo project. Love to damn sure give credit to my son. Boomer did it. Because Boomer is the producer of my solo project. There's 10 songs on the album. Boomer produced 9 of the songs. And Quick did a feature on one of the songs where he produced that track, one track, and Boomer did the other 9. Sugar Free's on the album, Quick's on the album, Boomer, my son, and homeboy Nehru, as well as D. And that pretty much taps in the Dedicated BlaKKazz K.K. first solo album.
And I gotta say as well, man, thank you so much, KK, and definitely have yourself a phenomenal night out there in Compton, California, man. Hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon, man. But for now, definitely have yourself a phenomenal night out there in California.
Man, I appreciate the love, man. You have a good one where you at. Is that Canada, right? What part?
I'm in Prescott, Ontario, so I'm on the East Coast, right across the border from New York State, so I'm closer to Ottawa.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember our first time there coming through from leaving Michigan, going to Toronto, driving. That was a trip.
I gotta say, Toronto is definitely a fun place to visit, man. We're about 4 hours from there, so I like to visit. I like to visit Toronto every couple months, man, because it's always something new in Toronto.
Oh, yeah, it was a good time up there, very good time.
But again, thank you so much, BlaKKazz, and definitely, man, like I said, have yourself a phenomenal night, and I'm pretty sure down the line we definitely shall talk again soon.
Oh, definitely, man. We'll come back and do second to none, and Boomer did it.
Hey, definitely, man. You know what I mean? I can't complain about that. Just let me know whenever you're ready, and we can definitely lock it in and set that up.
Damn show, man. And I appreciate it again. Outlaw Radio. Keep it cracking. West Coast love.